name is Gloria Sprinsky, and I'm with Remarkably You, which is coaching, and I do ladies' retreats and all kinds of fun things. But one of the things I love doing is speaking. I love it, and it was something I was scared to death of when I was young. I went to school for being a teacher, and I had to do this peer teaching thing in front of the group there. I broke out in hives. My mouth turned into cotton. It was awful. My teacher pulled me aside afterwards and said, Gloria, are you sure you want to be a teacher? Because they're going to eat you alive. But you know what? When God calls you, He empowers you. And so here I am standing here just being me. So what I want to talk to you guys about today is something that I'm very passionate about, and it has to do with energy. How many of you in this room would love to have more energy? Woo! Okay, I'm seeing every hand. How many of you guys, let me ask you why. Why is that important to you to have more energy?
Get more things done.
Get more things done. Anything else?
Feel livelier.
Feel livelier, feel better. And this is what we're doing in this country. Okay, so that's why I'm a little post-it note here. Red Bull. Any of you guys ever drank a Red Bull?
Yes.
Yeah, I have
At least
to.
one.
At least one. Do you know that there were 4.5 billion cans of Red Bull sold last year? In 1 year. They made $3.4 billion. That's Red Bull. Monster, which is more my choice when I get that, they made $1.7 billion last year. 5 Hour Energy, okay, which I love their commercials actually, I have to say. 5 Hour Energy, they made just a measly $700 million. Okay? We are looking for energy. We are looking for ways to keep going, to push ourselves, to do more, to be more, to accomplish more, right? But who has unlimited, boundless energy?
Kids.
Kids. Beyond a shadow of a doubt. Don't give them a Red Bull. It's like, no. So here's what I went on this mission to try and figure out, what do kids do differently than we do as adults? Why do they have energy and we're drinking Red Bulls? And there are 4 things that I want to talk to you guys about that I believe kids do very differently than we do as adults. And a lot of times, the ones I'm going to throw out there, I've done this presentation many times. I'm going to get the crossed arms and the, what in the world are you talking about, Gloria? And I don't get this. So give me a chance, open up your heart just a little bit. Let's play in this world together, all right? So the very first thing that I've noticed that kids do differently than adults is that kids are selfish. Is that a true statement or not?
Yeah. True.
It's very true. From the day that they are born, they're selfish. They do not care that mom just gave birth to them and went through 14 and a half hours of labor and, is all jiggly now, and trying to put everything all back together and hormonal like there's no tomorrow. That baby does not care. If it's 3 o'clock in the morning and it's time to eat because they're hungry, they let us know, don't they? They do not care. They are selfish. But this is what happens. We grow up, right? And we hit this point where it is no longer acceptable to be selfish. So one day we wake up and it's like everybody in the world is above us and we are way down here somewhere. Going, where do I fit? I am so busy taking care of everybody else. And I have no energy left because I am way down here. So there is a difference between unhealthy selfishness and healthy selfishness. Because here's the way I define it. Healthy selfishness costs no one anything. Does it cost anyone anything for you to exercise? No. Does it cost anyone anything for you to get enough sleep at night? No, it doesn't. Does it cost anyone else anything for you to fuel your body in a way that is healthy? No. But we abuse ourselves all the time. We run around eating French fries because it's quick and easy, and we are not living a healthy selfishness. But kids do. All right, so that's the first one. Number 2 is kids know what they want. Is that true? Yeah. Christmas time, right? You ask a kid, what do you want for Christmas? They'll tell you. They don't think about price tags and all this stuff. That's for parents to worry about. For me, I know what I want. All right? So kids are brilliant at this. But what happens as we get older? Here's what happens. We think, okay, this usually happens in the early teenage years, I think. And having raised 4 kids, I do know this. I've watched it. Okay? They want something. They've got their heart set on it. It's what I want. And they put everything into it, and they don't get it. Then disappointment comes in. And then they go, oh, maybe I just don't want that. The not getting it was worse than the wanting. So then one day we wake up saying, I have no idea what I want because I'm just here. I just exist. I just get up and do my same routine every single day, and I have no energy because I have no direction. I spent an hour yesterday with a gentleman on the phone, and he's unemployed right now. He's looking for a job. And so I kept saying to him, and his name's Kim, I said, Kim, what do you want? And he was like, I don't know. Do I actually get to say that? Yes, we get to say that. And there is power there, and there's energy there when we get a direction, and we get a focus, and we're going with something we want. As adults, we know it's not a straight line. But we can have crystal clear clarity on what it is that we want. That's power. All right? So the third thing that kids do, this is the one that I usually get the cross downs for. Third thing that kids do differently than we do is that kids do not rescue. There used to be, I don't know if you guys remember, there used to be a commercial many, many years ago. If you remember, it was during that time frame where the frying pan and they break an egg on there and go, this is your brain on drugs. There was another commercial in that same genre that came out. And it was a teenage girl standing on a dock. And there was a girl drowning in a lake. Do any of you remember? It didn't run very long. But the first time I saw it, because all you hear is this girl in the lake drowning, gasping for air. And there's a teenager standing there just watching her. And I'm sitting on the couch the first time I saw this, and I just wanted to jump in the television, right? Just jump in there and save this poor girl who was drowning, going, why are you not doing something? You know, to the girl that was standing there on the dock. But when I really sat back and thought about that commercial, I was like, it's really not a good message. Because does it serve anyone for both of them to drown? No. So what do kids do? Especially young ones. They are smart enough to know, I am not a superhero. I cannot solve this problem. I cannot save this person. So what do? You tell me. They go get help. They are not under any misconception that they can do it all. But we do. Somehow we think we can put on that superhero cape and we can solve all the world's problems without asking anybody for help. I don't know about you, but I can't do it all. I cannot. So I'm all about empowering my kids to help me. I'm empowering others that I work with to take responsibility for their lives and their jobs. Okay? And having an expectation of them to do it. I am all about training so they can help others do what they were created to do. But I have no misconception I can put on my superhero cape and save the day. Okay? And neither do I hold myself that way. Because here's the number one way that we play superhero in our own lives, and it's called procrastination. Yeah, we wait till the very last minute. And then we put those capes on and we're running around exhausted, all in a flutter, right? Because we got to get it done. Kids don't do that. All right? So the last one, and I love this one. I save the best for last because this one speaks to me more than any of the others. And this one is this, that kids trust. Is that true?
Yes.
They do. You could be driving through the deepest, darkest parts of downtown Chicago, and they could be sound asleep in the back seat in their car seat, and they're not worried. Mom and Dad, they've got this. They know what's going on. And they don't worry. We worry. We get stressed. And there's a story I want to share with you from the Bible. I was actually rereading it this morning in preparation to share this with you. It's actually tucked away in Numbers chapter 22. And it is the story of Balaam. Any of you guys know this story? No. Yay, I get to share this with you. So in Numbers chapter 22, Balaam was a prophet. And a prophet of Israel. And if you know anything about Old Testament scripture, prophets back then had a whole lot of power. Pretty much whatever they said went. There was one that stopped the sun for an entire day. Another one called down fire from heaven. They had a lot of power in their day. Okay? So there was this prophet that was there and very well known in the land as being a prophet. There was a king, and his name was Balak. And this king was looking at his map one day, and he was saying, all right, I am watching the children of Israel right now, and they are multiplying and growing like grasshoppers. When that happens, they take over people's lands. So he's looking at his map going, ooh, I think I might be next. What am I going to do about this? So he came up with this plan that he was going to try to get Balak to curse the children of Israel. Because if he did that, then God had to do what the prophet said. Because he was a prophet. So it was a pretty ingenious plan. So he got his people together and sent them off to Balaam. And Balaam said, all right, come on in. And they told him what they wanted. And he said, well, spend the night, and I'm going to pray and ask God about this. And God, of course, said, no, I don't think so. All right? So he sent them on their way the next day. So they went back to Balak. Balak's sitting there going, yeah, this isn't going to work for me. We got to up the ante here. So he sent even more noble people with more money and more things to entice them, shiny, dangly things, to his house again. And he goes, all right, come on, spend the night. Let me see what God has to say about this. So he does. God says, all right, I want you to go, but I want you to say what I tell you to say. So Balaam's like, cool. So he loads up his donkey with all of his stuff, and he gets on this donkey, and he's going like this, and he's like, I am on my way. Right? It is finally my turn. You know? All right, I got this whole healthy selfishness thing going on. I know what I want. I've got my clear path. You know, I'm not going to worry about all this extra stuff. I'm not going to rescue anymore. I'm just going to let it all go. And I am on my way. But then, this donkey gets off the path. It's like, what are you doing? This isn't this way. You're going over here. Gets off. He beats the donkey. Get back on this path. All right. Breathe. We're going again. Hey, I got this. We can do this. And the donkey goes off the path again. Gets off, beats his donkey again. All right, I have told you once. Now I'm telling you twice. Enough. Get back here. We've got direction. Third time. Get on the donkey. All right, I'm breathing. And the donkey decides one more time to get off the path. At this point, Balaam is so angry at this donkey, and he's beating this donkey, that he says, if I had a sword right now, I would kill you. That's how angry he was at this donkey. At that point, God gives this donkey the ability to speak. And the donkey asks this question, and this is Gloria version. But essentially, this is what the donkey says. Have I ever given you a reason not to trust me? Because on this path that Balaam was on, God had sent an angel of death. Because God knew that this prophet wasn't going to say what he wanted him to say. And he got to see what the donkey knew was there the whole time. And here he was so angry and beating this donkey and getting off this path when God knew the whole time what he was doing. And this donkey that he just beat had saved his life. So how many times do we beat the donkey thinking, don't get in my way, I have a direction, I know what I want, I've got it together, and we're exhausted because we're beating the donkey who actually always has our best interest at heart, because we have a heavenly Father who says, have I ever given you a reason not to trust me? And if we're honest, we can say no. So, it's time to be childlike. It's time to reclaim your energy, your life force, your blood, your passion. That thing that makes you remarkably you. And do the 4 things. Like kids. Find your healthy selfishness. Figure out what it is you really want. Stop rescuing. Save your energy for the things that really matter. And the 4th thing,